This crispy chicken is from a taco place.
This crispy chicken is from a taco place?
The taco place?
Taco place. It comes in a burrito, too?
From your taco place, it's also a chicken place that's also a taco place.
Check out the all-new Blue and Orange store at the Boise State Hall of Fame. The Blue and Orange store has your best game day gear. We're talking jerseys, hats, bumper stickers, car flags, more than 4,000 hats on the hat wall. If you want the best Boise State gear, make sure you check out the Blue and Orange store online at theblueandorangestore.com or the all-new Blue and Orange store down at the Boise State Allen Noble Hall of Fame.
It's the fall kickoff sale at Lithia Ford of Boise. It's the best time to trade in and trade up to a new Ford truck or SUV with the room to haul your payload or playload. Visit Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
Bronco fans, the new Boise State trading cars are here, and you can only get them at Jackson's.
Start collecting them today.
Jackson's, let's go!
And final blade of grass. Done. And done. Who knew it'd take 2,007 man-hours to paint 47,962,053 blades of grass? Smells like game day. Whoa, it's not dry yet.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Bronco Nation News Live is the only daily show that talks nothing but Boise State sports. And we do it with you. Give us your comments or questions in the ICCU YouTube chat. Or leave us a voicemail on the Signature Roofing voice inbox at speakpipe.com/BNN. BNN Live is presented by our title sponsor, RoadPaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics, and our major sponsors, Jackson's, Taco Bell, Idaho Central Credit Union, Lithia Ford of Boise, and the Blue and Orange store. For more coverage of Boise State athletics, check out the all-new BroncoNationNews.com, now part of the 247 Sports family. Now, here's five-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, how we doing? Happy Wednesday, Bronco Nation News, subscribers, viewers, fans, all that good stuff. We appreciate you guys. Hope you're doing well. It's a great Wednesday, and it's always a good Wednesday when we remember that we get to chat with Winston Venable, VSG Pro, Venable Sports Group, and now an NFL PA agent. That's right. You're going to be hearing him like Drew Rosenhaus and all these guys here in the very near future, NFL contracts and getting things going. And Winston, always fun to chat with you, man. It's Wednesday. Appreciate you for jumping on. How we doing?
Thanks, BJ. Yeah, man, let's get some guys walking across the stage in the 26th draft, man. That'd be awesome, right?
That'd be
hey,
pretty
all
cool.
good over here. All good over here, BJ. It's a nice little Wednesday morning. Feel like those that fall is really settling in, you know, a little bit more chilly outside in the mornings, and I'm enjoying it, man. That means football is here, and we're getting into the week, so all about it, man. How you living?
M. Hoskins 17, thanks for the great show and hospitality last night, BJ. Yeah, we had fun out at the James Kitchen and Bar. We had Riley and Rid. Special guests were Ty Benefield and Zion Washington. We had fun with that, and I believe I met this gentleman right here on the show last night. And we all every Tuesday, Riley and Rid are out there. Hope you guys go watch this show if you missed it. New cool partnership. Winston, NIL, you can do cool things now. Jackson's helping take care of some of these athletes. We give them some gas card or a little gift card to Jackson's, and they can go get some gas or snacks and kind of as their payment for coming on the show and coming over to the James every week. So we got a nice little partnership with Jackson's, and they take care of these guys. And so we're getting current players to come over onto the show every Tuesday night, and just another one of those cool things that you never would have thought of, even a couple years ago. And had Ty Benefield, Zion Washington, Robbie Robinson was always over there. So he was there last night, said that was a blast. So they had a pretty nice little crowd. Beautiful night out on the patio. Folks came out and got to meet the players and got some autographs on their trading cards after the show. And we gave away some cards. We do that every Tuesday night as well. Give away some Jackson's trading cards. And if you're my tab got a little high last night, Winston. If you're a paying subscriber, I say your first beer's on me. But we had a nice crowd there last night. So your check may be a little lower next month. We'll have to see. But it was a fun time. And if you've never made it out, hopefully folks will come out on Tuesday nights, 8 o'clock, Riley and Rid, and meet some current players. And then if you missed the show, you can go to our YouTube channel. It is up there right now. Go to our YouTube channel, Bronco Nation News YouTube, and check it out because it was a fun show last night. And now we're here having fun on a Wednesday morning. Air Force Week in the past, Winston. It's in the past. They got the win. Moving on and to App State this week, but overall 2 wins in a row and got a little momentum now, and you back on the blue this week. So good times here in Bronco Nation.
Yeah, absolutely. And real quick, going back to that, the Jackson support, it's awesome, in this new NIL era. A lot of things are going school-based or collectives with, the rev share and whatnot, but awesome to have the community support these guys. And BJ, great work. Linking up with some local support, because even just those small things go a long way and really makes players feel special. So even just those small, not saying Jackson's is mom and pop by any means, but it's awesome to have Bronco Nation and the Boise community get behind the program and support these guys, because it goes a long way and it means a lot to them. So that's awesome that stuff's going down and that you're involved in that and Jackson's involved. So super cool there. Air Force Week. I think it was nice that those guys got another win. It was not pretty at first, and football doesn't have to be pretty, but, as a viewer, as a fan, you're watching, there's a lot of penalties and whatnot out there, but bottom line, they'll fix some of those things. There's always going to be some stuff like that out there, but they got the win. You got a win in the column, and they're moving forward with some momentum. So there was some good, some bad, some ugly. I think you're always going to have that, but looking forward to App State. It's going to be another big challenge, and another big challenge for the defense this week for sure.
Hey, Winston, we got you till about 9:45, and then at 9:45, Alex Venardos is going to join us. He's the beach volleyball coach at Boise State, and people might be saying, why is the beach volleyball coach at Boise State joining us on a random Wednesday at 9:45? Well, it was just announced, Winston, that the beach volleyball team is joining the Big 12 conference for beach volleyball. Beach volleyball is a little bit different. Not a lot of conferences. There's not teams, and frankly, all that kind of means is that you're just having a conference tournament where there's an automatic bid on the line, for the NCAA tournament. So it's kind of, Boise State's beach volleyball team has been in the Southland Conference the last couple of years, which made no sense. But you're just trying to have a spot where you have an automatic bid to the tournament if you can win your conference. Boise State won the Southland Conference tournament last year and got to the NCAA tournament, and now they're joining kind of an odd Big 12 beach volleyball conference. It has Arizona, Arizona State, and TCU were the 3 teams from the actual Big 12 that are in there. TCU is the defending national champion, which is kind of cool that they're in there. But then also joining today is South Carolina and Florida State. Florida State also joining. So Boise State beach volleyball now in the Big 12 conference. And I guess never hurts to have a little relationship with Boise State in the Big 12. Who knows what could happen down the road. And we'll have the beach volleyball coach joining us at 9:45 to talk about this news. So kind of cool there.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I'm sure Jeremiah Dickey and, the athletic program, they're not just making those type of moves for no reason. I mean, everything's well thought out of, and sometimes that type of movement is the movement you need to keep things pushing. It doesn't matter what sport. There's positive movement, new competition, another way to reach the top, to climb the mountain and then get after it. So awesome for beach volleyball, and pretty exciting for Boise State moving to a new conference that gives them an opportunity to play on the big stage.
Yeah, no doubt about it. We got a lot of questions and comments coming in for Winston. As always, if you have a question, comment. I mean, this guy played on the blue, coached on the blue, bleeds as blue as you can bleed. So if you have a question or a comment on this team, let us know. And Winston has, like I said, another half an hour or so to talk Boise State football with you and answer those questions. And Winston, as you can imagine, a lot of I think frustration's a fair word, or uneasiness or angst, I think, with the defense, and in particular the pass defense and some of the numbers they're giving up this year. And but I will preface this, and I think fans realize this, and obviously you know this, but I mean, I don't think you can necessarily look at the Air Force game similar to the first two games. When you're playing a triple option team, the schemes are just so much different defensively. A lot of man-to-man coverage on the outside, a lot of different things that you're not doing in the other games. So I do preface it by saying I don't think the Air Force game and giving up 242 passing yards is necessarily, the same issues or problems as the first two games. But with that said, you've played an FCS team, you've played a triple option team, and you're 86th in pass defense still through 3 weeks in the season. And that was the most passing yards Air Force has had in 6 years. A lot of fans' frustration is the big plays that continue to keep happening, Winston, the explosive plays. And frankly, it's because it was a problem last year, and it was the talk all off season, limiting the explosive plays in the passing game, improving the pass defense. And to this point, we really haven't seen it through 3 games. And, here comes an App State team that ranks number 3 in the country in passing yards and number 11 in total offense. And I know they haven't necessarily played anybody this year, but, they have a former LSU quarterback on their roster slinging it 50 times a game in 2 of their 3 games. Like, they're going to come in and throw the ball. That's been a problem so far for Boise State's pass defense. So I'm sure a lot of the questions will be centered around that here today.
Yeah, absolutely, BJ. I mean, it's one of those things, though, Air Force is one of those type of games. I mean, and not that you don't ever want to just go out there and be dominant and play your best football possible. I think that's, always going to be a goal. But, with some of those military schools and Air Force, especially with the history of Boise State, it's one of those, you're trying to survive and get out of there with a win. And winning college football games is a big deal, no matter how you get it done. You can look back and pick it all apart, but if you look at the times that Air Force passes the ball in their history or the last few years, they're probably going to have more explosive plays or deeper passes down the field, no matter who the opponent is, not just Boise State, because they lull you to sleep. You got to play with those great eyes, and that's kind of their sweet spot is, hey, we're going to run. We're going to have a little trickery out here. We're going to make things look very similar to a run play. And then, somebody's going to slip out there and they're going to hit their 5 passes a game, whatnot. And most of those passes are down the field. So, it's one of those deals that they got done what they wanted to get done. We weren't able to stop some of those explosive plays. And, yeah, I think it's true. I think Boise State's got a lot of work to do on defense, but at the same time, it's early, man. It is early. I would say to fans and Bronco Nation that, let those guys go against this test at App State, because it'll be a great test. And that'll give you a little bit more indication on how the defense is coming together, and if they are coming together and whatnot, and what improvements they're making. Because, yeah, you cut on a little bit of the film from just the other week and watch them play Mississippi State, or no, who did they play? Can't even remember their opponent. Watched a little bit of it, but they're very creative and getting that ball down the field. Not Mississippi State, sorry. But the quarterback does a good job getting the ball into their playmakers' hands early, and they're throwing it a lot. So here comes a big test for the Broncos.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And obviously this is certainly a, they haven't, like I said, their schedule is not necessarily the most daunting. They've played Charlotte, I believe. They played Southern Miss last week, and then also played Lindenwood.
Southern Miss, sorry. FCS. Yeah, Mississippi State.
Yeah, you're close. It's the right state.
No,
but
not really.
I mean, 50 times a game is 50 times a game. They're going to sling the ball, and regardless of how they've done, when that's been a problem for Boise State, I know that's something that has a little fans uneasy about this. Couple of questions, as I predicted, are coming in here. Winston, is it possible that the defensive scheme is too complicated for the DBs?
I don't know. That's going to be a better question for the DBs. From my eye, and especially if you're going to look at Air Force, I'm guessing there wasn't too many defensive calls, right? I mean, you got to play very straight up, very basic. And we talked about that last week. This isn't a complicated system, so you're not going to go in there with so many adjustments and so many calls going into that game. Fairly basic game plan. Now, what they've done before in the previous weeks, I don't know Coach Chin's, man. I mean, I don't think his defense is historically known to be super complicated. I haven't heard that from players. So I think this is just more or less, getting some cobwebs, out of the system. And, these guys, it's early in the year. So I think, they're just finding their groove, finding their confidence, getting their skill sets honed in, and trying to work on their craft. So I think it's more than anything early in the season, not a lot of reps, and those guys, probably getting a little bit, back to some confidence. They got out there in the first game and got hit in the mouth a little bit. So they're just climbing and crawling out of this thing. And I think more than anything, it's early in the season.
Bronco 130 says, please give your thoughts on why number 6 is still a starter. I'm surprised there seems to be nobody behind him pushing for playing time. And I'm not trying to defend Jeremiah Irby, but because I do know a lot of times Winston, when he's chasing after the guy, it's a safety that missed a coverage or it's somebody else. But, number 6, unfortunately, more times than not, it seems like is sometimes the guy that's chasing down somebody after a big passing play that happened in the whatever it was, the Air Force game at times. Again, one of those things, we're not in there. We don't know the exact schemes or play calls. So it does make it a lot tougher. And I've been a frustrated fan, watching Kansas or whoever else. Like, I get it. You see it. There's, number X is always the guy chasing the guy down the field. And it's like, that guy sucks. Get him out of there. But it turns out like there's a lot more to it. And I know it sounds like I'm making an excuse for him. Fans probably don't want to hear it. But talking to these coaches and stuff, they really do say that a lot more times than not, it's not just the guy that you see chasing the guy down that was the one that screwed it up. But like I said, where are you with Jeremiah Irby? He finished last season strong. There was some high hopes for him coming into this year. And some of the numbers haven't been great to start the year.
Yeah. I mean, once again, I think this is college football. It's big time football. The coaches have a job and responsibility to, go out there, find the best personnel, coach these guys up, get them ready for the game. And they're going to put who they believe is the best and most ready to play. Now, that might mean that there's a young player that's up and coming and he's very talented, got great skill set, but is he ready to play in those moments? Does he have the experience? What does it do to a guy that, you put on the bench and you play a young guy and it backfires on you? So it's not easy to navigate, a roster and game time management and reps and all those things. But, ultimately, a lot of coaches are smart. Boise State has great, smart coaches. They had a whole year of evaluation last year. They have their incoming players. They have their transfers. So, if they felt like the DBs or, anybody in particular is not playing to the standard, if they have a replacement that's ready, I can almost guarantee you're going to see that get sprinkled in there. They're not just going to hold back a freshman that they have a high level of confidence in and not play him, So there's reasons why you see who's out on the field. I know there's reasons why we didn't see Jaden Mickey out there, but I'm still trying to figure it out as well, because obviously there's personnel, there's scheme, there's an attack that you are trying to have the best personnel to go, counter or attack an offense. I'm still trying to figure it out, or would love to hear the question of why that guy didn't see the field, because the game before, I almost think he's one of the better defensive players so far this year. But once again, there's reason, there's thought, there's all these things that these coaches go through, and that's their job, right? So it's not for me to totally pick apart. I'm just curious, but I can tell you this, there's reasons why that kid didn't get to see the defensive side of the ball. And there's reasons why those DBs are out there playing, because they're ready and they're able and they're capable.
And I know Mickey didn't see the field in this game. Some was because Bowen Phelps, and they went with that third linebacker, and Bowen Phelps played, I think, every defensive snap. And against Air Force triple option, they just said they'd rather have the bigger body in the box, I guess, and went with Phelps. And they won the game, and it worked out. But based on what I've seen this week, I would, in practice yesterday, was out there. I think we all expect Jaden Mickey to be a big-time participant in this week's game. Winston did very well, as you said 2 weeks ago. I think just the Air Force triple option scheme was maybe the not the perfect option for him, even though he did have experience playing Navy when he was at Notre Dame. But it sounds like an App State passing attack, getting Jaden Mickey back involved, I think is going to be a big-time big-time player back out there this week. So I would expect him to be out there for sure. Brad says, got to recruit some DBs with some ball awareness and some instincts. Let's see what else we got here. AJ Swan, that's the quarterback there at Appalachian State, will be a litmus test ahead of the Notre Dame game. The kid has a huge arm. Don't care about App State losing last week.
They actually, some of those highlights that I watched, they were hyping them up on TV as far as getting into the red zone and executing, the previous games. And then all of a sudden this game, they get down to that red zone, and they had like 3 turnovers in the red zone. And a couple of them were just very freakish turnovers, players diving. It almost looked like the ball popped up, and interceptions, but they don't have a problem getting down there, and they've had some success when they get down there. And once again, just the way that offense looks set up, they got a receiver out there, Jaden Barnes, I think his name is, very quick, very elusive, and they get him the ball early. Like, quarterback's got it in his hands. He gets it out to the playmakers, and those guys are making dudes miss. They also have another tall receiver, Dalton Stroman. Can play, can run after the catch. So they got some weapons out there, and like you said, man, that quarterback's got some experience. He's come from a big school, so he's been recruited. He's got talent. And, I know their head coach, offensive coordinator, they do a really good job of, being creative on offense. And the one thing that I got from it was they get the ball out early to these playmakers, and they have the ability to make guys miss and go down the field. So that win was, or that loss, I should say, they lost that turnover battle, but if you watch most of it, they're moving the ball pretty well in the past game.
Good question. Good question here from Skyship, wanting to know, Winston, who ultimately makes the call on who starts? Is it Chenander or the position coach or Spencer during game week? I've always wondered that.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be collaborative, but the position coach is, going to have more of that evaluation, moving the depth chart up and down, but that's going to be a defensive staff. This is what we got going on. This is who's playing well. Hey, I think it's time for this guy to get a shot. So as a position coach, you always want to have that voice on what your room looks like, who's ready to go. You're going to have a better pulse on how this kid's doing mentally and emotionally. If he's got anything going on at home, might, have some injuries and things like that. Now, of course, just talk about injuries, trainer's going to hit up position coach. Your job and responsibility is to communicate with the coordinator, but ultimately everybody's in on those type of decisions. Depth charts are up on the board. It's a collaborative deal, but starts with the position coach, his influence, and then, can always get overridden by the DC or headman.
And what about in game? I mean, you as the running backs coach a couple years ago, divvying up carries, because right now, and we got to switch and talk offense here at some point in running backs and what Dylan Riley did. And maybe I should take a quick break and then do that. But I mean, I guess just first positionally, how do you divvy up carries as a position coach? And is that on you or playing time? Or is that, again, something that's kind of a predetermined plan going into the game? Or are you kind of going, nope, all right, time for you to switch, because you obviously had, Halani, but you had some other guys getting some carries as well. And obviously that's going to be a big storyline going into this week with 3 running backs all kind of deserving carries here.
Yeah, I mean, and my time coaching at Boise, and which is pretty similar, I would say now. Yes, you can get selective with, hey, like this guy does this real well, or this guy does this real well, and has a certain skill set that they want to see for certain areas of the field, certain down and distance. It can be even as simple as, a third down passing situations. We're down, we want to play Tyler Crow, right? More because of his blocking and blitz pickup and pass pro ability, like stuff like that. But ultimately, like when I was coaching, George Helani could get all those things done, right? So in the running back room, it was more about, the rest and monitoring the reps in a sense of, hey, George, we're going to give you about 3 series. Let you take a break. We'll get a little switch up in there with whoever else is next. Get you back out there, right? So the players will have an idea, hey, I got the first 2 series or 3 series. But to tell you that it didn't always go that way. It was sometimes, hey, like, George, you're back up. And then you got a running back looking at you like, yo, it's my turn. It's like, not right now. It's not. George is going back in there. Flow of the game, hot hand, all those type of things, right? So those matter. Coaches definitely pencil that out. They definitely have it in their mind, and great challenge, right? For Coach Montgomery, offensive staff. How are we going to utilize these players? I think all of those backs can do everything. So I would probably see it going more forward as who's got the hot hand, who's rolling. And then, like Malik Sherrod, great switch up type of guy. You saw him out there have a couple nice runs. So yes, man, they got a problem on their hands. It's a good problem. But if you're going to go into a game with a starter, you're probably looking at it like, hey, he's going to take the first 2 series, and then we're going to get the next guy in and go back. So yeah, it's a hard job, but definitely position coaches, especially in the running back position, they have to have a pulse of what's going on. They have to be communicating with the player, how they're feeling. Some guys need a rest, right? A couple long runs. You got a long run, get the next guy in there. So, and sorry, going here, but if a guy goes on a long run and or isn't that productive for a couple, right? A couple pass plays, you might give him another series, right? He might go on a long run, and this new kid's going to come in, take the ball a couple times, and then we're going to get that kid, back in the game. So it's just a flow, man.
Well, let's keep talking about the offense and the running back situation here momentarily. But do want to thank a couple of our great sponsors that make this show free of charge for you to watch every morning here on YouTube. And that includes Snake River Pool and Spa, Patio, and Game, the spa team.com. Twin Falls, Boise, Meridian, Nampa. They've been around since 1978. They're part of the Boise State home team, whether it's a sauna, a spa, maybe a pool table, dartboard. They got you covered. Check them out online, Snake River Pool and Spa, Patio, and Game. Hey, Matt Bauscher, Bauscher Real Estate, #1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley is Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate. Check him out online, BauscherRealEstate.com. He helped us buy and sell our home, did a tremendous job, customer service every step of the way, and Kelly, the whole crew. He's got someone specialized in each area, so no stone is left unturned, and he's going to fight for you for every dollar. That's Matt Bauscher, Bauscher Real Estate, online, BauscherRealEstate.com. Hey, Ridley's Family Markets, ShopRidleys.com is where you can go to download that Skip app. Good savings up to 40% off in the checkout line. You can find a location near you. If you just want that friendly atmosphere and a great staff when you walk into a Ridley's, that hometown grocery store feel, you get that at Ridley's Family Markets. I recommend the Cuno location. You can check them out again online at shopridleys.com. Hey, transportation compliance service. Get into the trucking industry with transcomservice.com. They're a local company helping out folks all over the United States and the world, whether it's DOT, overweight permits, all that good stuff. Transcomservice.com is the website. And again, they'll help you get into the trucking industry. Maybe you never thought about it, but it's a booming industry right now. Check them out at transcomservice.com. Hey, speakpipe.com/BNN is the website where you can leave us a voicemail, whether it's pregame show, postgame show. I want to get some more postgame show voicemails in there. We had 3 or 4 last game, but let's load that thing up. When that game ends or in the fourth quarter when the game's about over, jump on to speakpipe.com/BNN. Leave us a voicemail. Brad and Kent Riddle on the post-game show be ready to respond to that. We can play it on the show. So speakpipe.com/BNN is the website. And again, it's brought to you by Signature Roofing, online for more than 2 decades. It's mysignatureroofing.com. They're covering our community with re-roofs, repairs, estimates, inspections, all your roofing needs, make sure you hit up mysignatureroofing.com. They put a new roof on the Rains household, did a tremendous job, and they can do the same for you. mysignatureroofing.com. All right, Winston, offensively, and first of all, a lot of people are asking about Breezy Dubar. Not seeing and then someone said he's not seeing the field even if he's healthy at this point, but just been a tough go for Breezy injury wise. That's obviously what he's dealing with right now. Is on the report is out, the injury report. So dealing with an injury, and just you feel for him. Very first day of fall camp, he gets banged up, goes out, comes back, goes out again. Certainly not what you want to see. So Breezy Dubar was at practice yesterday, but was not participating, as all I'll say. So we don't know what's going on with him. But at this point, hate to say it, at least in the near future, you probably can't count on him. But with that said, I don't want to say you don't need him, but what Dylan Riley's done to step up here and become that third back, you feel pretty good, Winston, about the trio of backs you have right now. Sire Gaines was banged up, was a little limited going into the last game. Dylan Riley got some extra snaps and took advantage of it. What do you make of Dylan Riley's emergence here? 5 touchdowns, first player, believe it or not. I found this hard to believe when they said it. I had to look it up, but first player in school history, 4 rushing touchdowns and a receiving touchdown in the same game. Goes for 250-plus total yards. I mean, he's, getting national recognition this week, and yet the depth chart comes out on Monday, and he's still listed as the third-string running back. How do you look at his emergence and how moving forward here that's going to play out with, a guy that a lot of people believe is an NFL running back in Sire Gaines, and he was getting a lot of offseason hype as kind of being the guy, and Malik Sherrod, who they like, as being a key contributor as well. How do you see, going back off our question before the break, but how do you see Dylan Riley? Is he still RB3 in your opinion at this point?
Oh, I don't know if they have an RB 1, 2, 3, or 4. I think that's a pretty fluid chart right there. And I think we've seen that since game 1 and the first couple of possessions, right? Where we've even talked about how, who's going to get in that flow and how important it is for guys to, get some reps early and some consistency, right? And I think we haven't really seen that until last game. And I think a part of that was also due to Gaines being out. So, if you just break it down back to Breezy real quick, you absolutely need Breezy. You absolutely need Gaines. And I think you absolutely need a stable of guys. And if you're fortunate enough to have a stable of guys, you're going to be better off, because the running back position, these guys get beat up, right? And I think if we're looking at this right now, I don't know what Gaines' status is, but you only have 1 or 2 running backs that are healthy, in my opinion. I'm not out there at practice and whatnot, but we didn't see much of Gaines at all, and Breezy's out, right? So both those guys, going back even to fall camp, haven't had a full workload, haven't had a full
Gaines is 100% now. Coach Danielson did say he said he's back ready to roll this week. So I don't think injuries going into this game should be an issue for Gaines.
Gotcha. But we didn't see him much at all on Saturday, right?
No, nope.
Yeah.
2 carries, I believe, or 3 carries.
Yeah. So we're a couple days past that. I don't know exactly what he's got going on, but is he 100%? I guess is a better question. And if he is, awesome. I hope he is. But I think it just goes back to prove the point of you got to have these guys ready to roll. Breezy is going to be called upon, and it might be week 8 of the season, but you can't go through a whole season with, having guys up and down. You can do that, but you're really going to want to get some guys out there rolling. And obviously Dylan Riley did a phenomenal job and can, prove that he can be that guy. And I think that running back room is going to go to who's available. They're all studs, man. They're all great. So they got 3 guys. I don't really care where you're at on the depth chart. Own the moment. And Dylan Riley just did that. So, hot hand, whoever's in that room.
Matt says better start allocating NIL money now for Dylan Riley. Going to need it. And that is the crazy era of college athletics. You have one big game, all of a sudden, Winston, it's like, oh, he just made himself $1 million the other night.
Yeah, well, how hard is that to manage? Obviously guys have different things that are important to them. I hope they all stay as Broncos. They want to be here, and Boise State can figure out ways to do that. And, it's not my, as far even in the representation world, it's all about these guys' goals and what they're their aspirations are and what's important to them. I hope they all stay as Broncos, but if Boise State, if that currency and whatnot is of importance, it's not just about figuring out how to pay Dylan Riley. It's about how to figure out how to pay Sire Gaines and all your other guys, because in an equal thought, go pay Dylan Riley, and what happens to Gaines, and his Gaines out of here, those type of things. These guys are Broncos, man. I think Coach D does a great job developing these guys. We have a history of winning, and I think guys really want to be a part of this program. And obviously, the transfer portal and that's a real deal.
And I'll say this, I know people don't want to hear it. Maybe you don't want to hear it. They're Broncos. I get it. But this is game 4 coming up on Saturday, and you get 4 games to where you can still redshirt your season if you pull out. And it happened at Boise State. Hank Bachmeier played 4 games. And then I don't even know, were you still on the staff when that happened? I mean, Hank Bachmeier played 4 games and then said, I'm out of here, and transferred and saved his year of eligibility. And that kind of shocked people when that happened. Obviously, that happened to do with the Tim Plow firing, and that was just a crazy year. But it has literally happened at Boise State, where a player has said peace after 4 games. I'm not saying that's going to happen here, but if all of a sudden Sire Gaines is like, oh, if Dylan Riley is going to be RB1 now, I'm not going to waste this year. Like, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, and I'm not predicting that. I haven't heard that. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm just saying, who knows? I mean, in this day and age of college football, you want to save that year and get paid. Any position on the team, any guy could see where he's at on the depth chart and say, I'm not playing this year. I'm going to save this year and play somewhere else. I hate that it happens, but it does, and that's something to keep in mind here. This is game 4 coming up, so after this game, we'll see if there's any movement.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, that's BJ, that's one of those things that I'm like just super passionate about, right? Is these kids, they have a lot of decisions to make, right? And it's a whole new era of pro ball and making big time, almost now business decisions. And I just hope that they have a good team around them, good people that are helping them process making these decisions, because there's a lot of jive out there. There's a lot of people in these kids' ears that can influence them one way or the other. So once again, what are your goals? What are your aspirations? What's important to you? What future do you want? What do you need now? All those type of things. I mean, it's not easy to navigate. And you just brought up a great point with the 4 games. So these are things that, these 18 to 22-year-olds are having to deal with these days. And some of them are dealing with it by themselves. Some of them are, they have representation. They got mom and dad, all those type of things. But it's not easy. Not easy to go through this process now that money's involved. And I think bottom line is guys want to play, right? They want to play. And they want to be the guy, and they want to be the featured back. And most of the time, there's only one running back out there in the field. It's not 3-4 wide receivers. And at that position specifically, similar to the quarterback position, it's hard, man. I mean, it's really going to be hard to have that true backup these days. I think about when I was playing, and Mike Coughlin was our backup quarterback. That guy could have been a quarterback in any other team in the WAC, or it didn't matter. So it's going to be more rare to have that big time backup quarterback or backup running backs that stick around, just because they're going to have an opportunity to be a featured guy, as well as get paid these days a significant amount of money, and whole new game.
So Boise State back on the blue against Appalachian State on Saturday. We did find out, we saw the injury to Maddox Madsen. Looked scary there for a while. He came back in the game, was able to finish the game, but was told by Spencer Danielson that he's banged up, and he's gonna plans to play, but he's banged up this week, and we'll see if his reps get limited at all because of that. And but he's expected to play. But obviously what we saw from Max Cutforth coming in, you feel a little better if you need him in the future here, but obviously that's something to monitor here moving forward.
Yeah, man, super tough for Mad Dog. That was kind of a scary one on TV where you're looking at it and you're like, oh man, MCL, ACL, looked like a little knee tweak, something type of sprain, props to him for coming back. I'm sure that he had that adrenaline flowing, and he probably had that adrenaline flowing. I'm not saying he wasn't in pain, because I bet you he was in pain, but I bet you when he got on that bus and that plane ride to come back home, and Sunday morning and Monday and Tuesday, I'm guessing, legs are a little bit sore. So hopefully he's doing a phenomenal job, which I know he is. He's a pro in the training room, got great trainers, doctors, all those type of things. So hopefully he's getting some rest. I don't think he's the type of guy that, when he's getting to this stage where he's getting these reps, he's getting this experience where taking a day off, can serve a great purpose for him. Awesome, right? To get Max in there to go get thrown in the fire. Sometimes that's the best way to learn something. Get thrown in the fire, his confidence, and do well, right? Get thrown in the fire and then do well and handle something like that. His confidence has got to be boosted up. Players' confidence has got to be boosted up in that quarterback room. And, that's what you got to have. I think we talked about it way earlier in the season that hopefully you're blowing a team out and you can get some younger guys reps. And that's for all these positions. It goes back to the DBs. Well, how do we see really how these young DBs are? Start blowing some people out, right? And get these young guys some reps. It's unfortunate that it comes through injury, but great job for Max to get some confidence boosted up in him, get thrown in the fire, get those reps, because those are super valuable in-game reps. And hopefully Mad Dog, I think one of his better parts of his game is getting out on the pocket and running, throwing on the run. Probably not going to see that as much. Probably not going to be asked him to do that as much. Maybe he, throws the ball away here and there instead of scrambling. Got to be careful about taking shots. So hopefully he's good to go, protects that knee, protects that leg, whatever may be going on, and gets ready to go play against a team that's probably coming in here hungry. Everybody's trying to win against Boise. Got to protect the blue first and foremost, and boys got to play their best, man. Any given Saturday.
Well, final thing or two for you here, Winston, before we let you go. What do you make of Nate Potter? He was a guy that came in first game as OC. A lot of fans and stuff didn't love the offense when they scored 7 points against South Florida in the first game. A little bit of criticism there. He's bounced back-to-back 500-yard games on offense. First time that's happened in like 6 years. They nearly went back-to-back 600-yard games, which hasn't happened in a long time around here. But the offense certainly has clicked the last 2 games.
Hey man, it's just like the players and coaches are all the same for the most part. They are not only growing, learning, but they're building confidence. They're finding their rhythm, right? I mean, the dude has never been a coordinator before, right? I mean, he's talk about getting thrown in the fire, man. Like, let's evaluate or talk about Nate Potter in a couple of years, right? Give him some time to develop his craft and his identity as a play caller, and he needs the reps too, right? I mean, it's like anything you do in life, the more you do it, the more comfortable you are, and especially a job like that, right? I mean, that's a feel thing, a rhythm thing. That's learning about your offense, learning about what you want as a play caller, and creating your own identity. So awesome to see the growth. I think once again, it's early. I don't think I don't think we know who Nate Potter is as a play caller, other than getting some wins, getting the ball down the field and scoring more points than the opponent is which his job is to do. And I think he's, done that the last 2 weeks. And once again, it's like not all on him. He's got a whole staff. He's got players and everybody. It's early in the season. I know we're getting around to, week 4 or week 5 and whatnot with other teams, but it's still early, man. So I'd be, interested to see how this all plays out in the long run. And I think Nate Potter's only just taken off. So he's got a lot of room to grow, and he's going to do that. Heck of a dude, heck of a coach, heck of a Bronco.
Well, final thing, Winston, real quick, as we're running out of time, just back on the blue, Appalachian State, a chance to get 3 wins in a row heading into Notre Dame. And I don't think this has any feelings of a trap game. I know everyone's looking ahead to Notre Dame next week, but it feels like just this team is with where they're at and already losing a game. They kind of know they can't afford any other losses at this point right now. So I don't really get any kind of feeling about this being a trap game on Saturday, but sellout crowd back at home, the new helmets, just a nice opportunity to keep things rolling here on Saturday.
Yeah, I don't think so either, man. I think the way they started the season off, USF, I don't think that there's any slip in the mentality and what is necessary to go in there and play your best, right? I mean, it goes back even to the second game where obviously it's an FCS opponent, but like when you're talking about the standard at Boise State and you're talking about, you know, protecting the blue and really living up to that, I mean, there should be enough pressure on you to be focused and to understand that anything can happen in college football. And we just got smacked the first game of the season. So those guys want to put that in the past, and they want to put together some great product on the field, protect the blue, go dominate their opponent. And those are all those things that they're working on and capable of. So, yeah, trap game or whatnot, I bet you those dudes are fired up to go out there. They know who's coming. They know that they're going to give them the best. And that's just the mentality you always have. I mean, it's like, you know, yeah, you don't want to lose on the blue, and anybody can beat you in college football. So this is a hard game, man. And that's when, you know, one thing just for Bronco Nation and everybody, college football, man, this is it's big time ball. Anybody can win, and that's why squeaking out or getting any type of win it's a freaking big deal. So sometimes we got to cut these players some slack, cut these coaches some slack, let them do their thing, enjoy the entertainment that they're giving us, and giving us a reason to, you know, be passionate about something. So, you know, let these boys, you know, get through a couple games and, you know, take it easy out there, Bronco Nation.
Fiesta Bowl champion, one of the greatest linebackers ever at Boise State, assistant coach as well in the past. Winston, always appreciate your insight on Wednesdays, man. Appreciate you for jumping on.
Hey, BJ, appreciate it, man. Hope you have a great Wednesday, and looking forward to a little Saturday action, man.
Boise State and the Big 12, beach volleyball. Yeah, we told you earlier in the show we're going to talk about that big news here in just a second with their head coach, but do want to thank a couple of great sponsors that make this show free of charge for you guys to watch on YouTube here and social media, Facebook, X, all those good spots. RowPaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics. Check them out at RowPaint.com. All your painting needs, whether it's those concrete coatings, interior, exterior painting, commercial, industrial, they got you covered at rowpaint.com. Hey, Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. Make the switch today. You can see 7 student athletes there at Boise State have NIL deals. You see the ICCU logo back inside the stadium, outside the stadium. Great to have them as a partner again with Boise State, and we're thankful for their partnership with Bronco Nation News as well. So make the switch today. Promise you don't really realize what you're missing in a bank until you make the switch. Idaho Central Credit Union, online at ICCU.com. TacoBellWorks.com, the website for the local Treasure Valley Taco Bell locations, SON Management, the Nicolason family. We appreciate Taco Bell for their support of Bronco Nation News. We'll be out tomorrow at the Taco Bell on Broadway, 9 a.m., I believe, broadcasting live there as well. So TacoBellWorks.com, Taco Bell. We got flag football, baseball practice tonight for my kiddos, so it'll probably be another Taco Bell night as it usually is. Check them out, Taco Bell at TacoBellWorks.com. Hey, hopefully this will be the week. If Latrell Caples gets in the end zone, when Latrell scores, Jackson's pours. You can get a 49-cent fountain drink at Jackson's anytime on the Monday after Latrell Caples scores. Make sure you check out that deal. You can get their 99-cent coffee anytime, day or night, using the Let's Go Rewards app. And don't forget those trading cards. They're available through Jackson's as well. You can pick them up right there at the counter, and 1 in 10 chance at an autographed card as well. So check out Jackson's stores, and of course Extra Mile by Jackson's as well. Hey, if you're looking for some Boise State gear, the Blue and Orange Store, theblueandorangestore.com has you covered. That new location there at the Boise State Hall of Fame. And you can also go online, theblueandorangestore.com, and order anywhere in the world. They got those new 208 Front Porch of Idaho. That gear as well coming for the game on Saturday. The new 208 logo the coaches will be rocking, I think, on the sidelines. So get your Boise State gear at the Blue and Orange Store. And I believe it's a whiteout on Saturday for the football game. So make sure you get your white gear there at the Blue and Orange Store, and online at theblueandorangestore.com. And Friday we'll be at Lithia Ford of Boise, lithiafordofboise.com. Check them out as well. Great. Never a better time to buy a new or pre-owned vehicle there. Lithia Ford of Boise, online, lithiafordboise.com. You can check out all the great deals and options they have. It's the fall kickoff sale. Never a better time. We appreciate Jim Sturk and company over there at Lithia Ford of Boise. All right, some awesome news. We mentioned Boise State is joining the Big 12 in beach volleyball, and Alex Venardos, their head coach, nice enough to pop on and join us here for a little bit on Bronco Nation News. Alex, appreciate you for jumping on. Angle your camera down there a little bit if you can. Make the other Alex do some work there. There we go. Appreciate you jumping on, man. How's it going?
Terrific. How about yourself?
Doing great, man. We heard the news right off the top of the show, and I mean, you look at this graphic, and it's just pretty surreal. I mean, it's pretty cool to see the Boise State logo on the screen there with Florida State and the defending national champion TCU and some of the programs here, and that Big 12 logo. Big day for your program. Congratulations, and tell us about it.
Yeah, thank you. It's been a long time coming, and hats off to Jeremiah and the crew for fighting behind the scenes for well over a year, making this come to fruition. Kind of been the worst kept secret in the department, but glad it's finally public. It's huge for our program.
What goes into something like this? And obviously, you guys were in the Southland Conference. You're taking over as head coach this year. We can get to that, in a minute. But beach volleyball, just kind of a unique deal in terms of not every school having, sponsoring that sport, and you're having to find a spot. I know the Southland Conference, you guys did that to try to have a shot to get an automatic bid into the tournament, and it obviously worked out. You won and got in last year. So the Big 12, why was this move appealing, and how you mentioned it's been in the works for a long time? What kind of went into this?
Yeah, so when we joined the Southland, that was the first year that they had conference bids in the NCAA tournament. Before that, it was purely at-large criteria, kind of regionally, but no conference needed. So in terms of like how we get there, SPA and athletic directors go and fight the fight for us and advocate. And Southland made a lot of sense. At the time, we were the 6th team, and you needed 6 for a bid. It had been us and Corpus Christi kind of battling out in the finals. This past year, we came out on top, and kind of combination. On one hand, we needed a bigger stage, I think. We wanted a platform that really represented our program, and the Big 12 aligned with that. And meanwhile, Big 12 was looking for 6 teams as well to get their bid. While the new pack doesn't have enough beach teams to sponsor, the Big 12 only has 3 true Big 12 members. So they approached us and started kind of with beach volleyball coaches talking to me, and then I started passing it up the chain and fighting the fight at the administrative level.
So in terms of what this means, I mean, it's not like other sports where you're going to go play a conference match or whatever at all these schools. What does this actually mean in terms of what this entails? I think there's a mid-season tournament, maybe a postseason tournament, but what all, maybe that's it. But I mean, how do you maybe explain to fans? It's not like a conference basketball schedule where they're going to go play a home and home with every school.
Yeah, spot on. So 6 teams in our conference now. Typically, we're playing 4 in a weekend. And so for the midseason events, it'll probably be 4 of the other 5 schools that will play. And then it's up to us to schedule the 5th one as a designated match. Those results directly affect the seeding for the postseason tournament, for the auto bid to the NCAA tournament. And so, basically 2 of our 16 regular season days are accounted for with that midseason event. And then the postseason is separate. And the goal, I think, long term would be make sure that we get those designated matches at home and have some conference representation here in Boise.
What maybe this is a better question for Jeremiah, but just big picture, getting Boise State aligned with the Big 12 conference and a power conference league. And like I said, I know there's affiliate members and different things like that all go into it, but just to have Boise State, that Boise State logo next to the Big 12 logo right there, and some of these other programs that are in the league. I mentioned what TCU did last year, and just a Florida State. I know nothing about their beach volleyball program, but it's the Florida State logo on the screen there. I mean, what does this do for this university, you think, nationally here?
I think it's huge. I think it's a big foot in the door, and great first step. I think it's a win-win. It's the platform that we want for our program. And hopefully it's a good way to show that, we as a university have the infrastructure and are built to take a step like that.
Tell us about just the outlook for the program itself, and I'm sure this fires everybody up. I mean, I don't know how long your team's known about this, but nothing against the Southland Conference. But again, this is the Big 12 here, and the programs that you're going to be playing. What does this do just to excite infuse some excitement into the program?
Yeah, I think it's really exciting on a couple levels. One, the strength of schedule, we built out the rest of the season to be a gauntlet. So while the conference season that we have is abbreviated, it's on par with what we're making our season look like. And so that's kind of the level we're at as a program, is we want to be scheduling the top teams week in and week out. And having a conference that, mirrors that is icing on top. I think in another sense, it's pretty exciting for our girls, because up until now, the reality has kind of been win the conference or bust, and now with the strength of schedule that we can put together and having the conference to supplement that. We want to be an at-large team. We want to be in contention for an at-large bid at the end of the season. And the only way to be doing that is playing the top teams every single weekend. And this has given us a great opportunity to do that.
Alex Venardos, our guest, the beach volleyball coach at Boise State, getting ready to enter his first season here. We're talking about Boise State beach volleyball joining the Big 12 Conference. And we got this YouTube chat going, Coach, and sometimes we get some great questions. Sometimes it's kind of scary and you want to stay out of that. I mean, Leon Rice has kind of taken a peek after a bad loss at it during an interview once, and that didn't go too well. But we do have a couple of funny questions coming in here. Bronco 130 says, your favorite volleyball play, is it a massive spike or a shutdown block?
Oh, I think blocks are worth more than 1 point. Has to be a block. Not only are you getting on the scoreboard, but that's getting in the other team's head. Absolutely.
Jordan wants to know, with the growth of beach volleyball, what are the chances they could expand the tournament at some point?
Yeah, good question. I think it has to be proportional. There's a percentage in terms of participating schools. And as far as I know, year after year, we're still having growth. So if I think we keep on this track, it might be within a couple of years they expand to more. We're at 16 right now, which was double what they were at 3 years ago. My goal would be, or my hope would be, that we go somewhere regional and they do pods, kind of something like what I believe softball does. Because right now it's 16 teams go to Gulf Shores, Alabama, which is not the mecca of beach volleyball. They do a phenomenal job hosting, but it's a long way to travel for a single elimination tournament.
And this program, I believe, went to school at Boise State. You've been a part of this program, I think since the beginning. Just to see this program evolve to what it is now, where the Big 12 wants to add Boise State beach volleyball to their conference. What can you say? I know when it first, it wasn't a joke, but some people kind of like chuckle, like Boise State beach volleyball, when you guys first announced you were starting a team. And I think that you guys have obviously proven by getting to the tournament that you can play very strong beach volleyball and be one of the premier teams in America. But just to see this program build the way it has, and in a non-traditional, and I know you're not the only, spot that doesn't have an actual beach that's doing this, but just to be in a non-traditional, you wouldn't think Boise, Idaho beach volleyball, to be able to make this work and do what you've done, and the investment the university's made, I know, in getting new sand within the last couple of years and some of the other stuff. What can you say just about the continued growth of this program?
Yeah, definitely right. It's not atypical for programs to be away from the beach. That's been part of the reason the sports continue to grow so well, is people are starting to realize that and acknowledge that. And the junior scenes reflected that too. But administration's backed us all the way. It's a big reason I felt so confident in the vision for the program that Allison, Coach Voigt, had, Sean Garris before her. Now I get to carry on, as we've gotten support every step of the way. They understand that it takes a lot to compete for championships, and it didn't happen overnight, but we did it organically, brought in recruits that resonated with that message, and we're in it for the long haul, and it's slowly paying off. This is a good milestone for us in that regard.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but when it first started, wasn't it in part to help give more scholarships to the indoor volleyball, or they had some effect of it, or there was some combo at some point, and now you're recruiting, girls that only do beach volleyball and stuff. And Bronco 130 wants to know, what makes a beach volleyball player different from a regular volleyball player? What are you looking for? I guess combine those two into one.
Yeah. First question, they had some rules to kind of police the excess of scholarships. That was like first couple of years, some schools abused it. They cracked down, kind of a one-way street where beach scholarships, if you've got a beach scholarship, you couldn't play indoor. But it was more so, I think, to extend the training block. They could then have a longer spring season of reps and opportunities. But yeah, when I got here, 2016, we had one beach only player, and it was see you in the spring, because the rest of the roster was in indoor season, and the shared coaching staff as well. But they've slowly recruited a beach only roster, and the senior class now was my first recruiting class on staff as a full-time coach. And that was the year we separated completely from indoor. And in terms of the kind of players we look for, I'd say the biggest difference from indoor is a lot of indoor players, you can specialize, you can substitute out. And so middle blockers are blocking and hitting, and sometimes not even serving the ball or playing in the backcourt. You have a libero or a defensive specialist come in. Outside hitters might only play 3 rotations. They might not have to show and serve, receive. And so in beach, one person might be blocking at the net full time. Sometimes one person might be defending sometimes, but for the most part, they're doing all the skills. they're all showing in serve, receive, and passing. They're both having to set their partner. They're both having to attack. They're both having to serve, and they can't get subbed out. When we put a lineup in for a match, that's it. If you get injured, you're forfeiting that position in the duel. So they have to be well-rounded, and they have to be, I'd say, a little bit more independent with the limitations that we have on coaching compared to other sports.
And I know they just put in the new sand, but I got to ask, because somebody asked it earlier, I can't find it. I mean, can we get some blue sand? Come on, coach.
Like clockwork, every day I'm on the recruiting trail, a parent will come up and ask when that's happening. I think it's a missed opportunity. I know we got some people in external that are all about it, and that just put us on the map even more. I think if we go that way, we'd have to get all blue gear, or else it'd be stained, by the end of practice.
I mean, this is a dumb question, but I mean, can they even make blue sand? I mean,
probably, yeah. Some places have red sand. I don't know if it's on purpose or not, but yeah, it's probably doable.
I've been working with, Justin Schultz, let's get that blue softball field going. Like, come on. I mean, the outfield, I know they have baseball was looking to do it when they were here for a short time. I think it makes, I don't know I know the blue basketball court might be a little much. I know I don't like how Memphis's look, but I think beach, you got to lean into it. Come on, coach.
I'll say our girls are on board with it. I've probably been the biggest stick in the mud.
Well, let's get a big donor, raise some money, and let's. I know we got big donors listening right now. Some like support women's sports. Let's get some blue sand. Come on. We appreciate it, coach. And final thing, I guess, for you, just the outlook for your team. I mentioned going to the tournament last year for fans watching this. I know there's some sort of fall schedule coming at some point here, right? But what is the timeline for kind of the season, and also who's back, and just what's the outlook for how good you guys could be this year?
Yeah. Fall is our preseason, so we have 4 weekends of pairs tournaments, but it's not really on the records. And we're announcing our fall schedule next week. Competition is the first weekend of October, holding off with the announcement of the Big 12. And then for the spring season, got 2 home tournaments. One of them is going to be absolutely loaded. Hopefully all ranked teams, depending on how the polls pan out. We had 2 starters graduate. Those were only 2 players that graduated from this past season. Got 2 freshmen coming in that I think will be impacts. We have a transfer coming in the spring as well. That's definitely going to be an impact for us. And so big returning cast, a lot of people that rose to big roles last year, and I think have solidified and matured even more since then. So I think we're a good notch above where we were last year, and last year was a good spot to begin with.
Well, Alex, we really appreciate you jumping on. Congratulations on the news today. And commenter here says, if I win the lottery, I'll help out. So there you go. But awesome news. And again, really cool. Just kind of surreal just to see the Big 12 logo on that graphic and you guys on there. And it's Florida State, TCU, South Carolina, Arizona State. Going to be really cool to see battling it out there. And it's going to be super cool. And like I said, congratulations again. And looking forward to catching up again here soon.
Thank you, BJ. Appreciate you having me.
Thanks a lot. There he is. We appreciate Alex Venardos for jumping on. Beach volleyball coach at Boise State, getting ready to enter his first season. Has been with the program a long time as an assistant coach, and the program has continued to rise. And like I said, it's pretty crazy to think about. I mean, that program's not been around that long. And when you think about beach volleyball, you don't think about Boise State. And I appreciate you guys that stuck on for that interview. Sometimes we have guests from some of the female sports or football, basketball sports, and folks will say, see, I'm out, and jump off right away. But we held steady with the viewership there, and I think that's pretty cool and well-deserved for the beach volleyball program. They are headed to the Big 12 conference here moving forward. And I mean, I'm not going to, I mean, he said it's a foot in the door, and that's what I'm saying, right? I mean, I'm not saying this is going to lead to, Boise State joining the Big 12 in football or all sports, but I mean, it can't hurt, right? I mean, for Jeremiah Dickey and Brett Yormark to at least have some conversation, I assume, at some point over this. I mean, and them joining in beach volleyball. I mean, I don't think this is just a nothing burger. I mean, I think it's at least a start. It opens the door, like he said, puts a foot in the door. I mean, I think it doesn't hurt. So I think that's I think it's pretty cool. The Big 12 conference in beach volleyball, and who knows where it leads to? Maybe nothing, and it's just a cool deal for beach volleyball. But if that's it, cool. But I don't think it hurts at all to start a relationship with the Big 12 conference and Boise State at all moving forward. So Melinda says, very cool news. I can't wait to tell my brother-in-law. He's an alum of Florida State. Fresno has an equestrian team in the Big 12. Yeah, they sponsor sports, I believe, in like 6 different sports: wrestling, lacrosse, maybe equestrian. I saw the press release earlier this morning now, but there's like 6 sports I think that the Big 12 has affiliate members in. I believe like the Mountain West has Colorado College in as an affiliate member for soccer. So it's not that crazy. I mean, being in the Southland Conference was kind of weird for Boise State volleyball the last couple of years. So I would say this is cooler and makes more sense, the Big 12 conference and certainly getting to the tournament last year. I'm sure he said it was in the works for a long time, but I'm sure that doesn't hurt that they got to the NCAA tournament last year by winning the Southland Conference tournament. So cool deal. And as I said, Alex taking over as the coach, and he's been around for a long time. Program's coming off 4 consecutive 20-win seasons, and they made their first national championship appearance last year after the regular season and conference tournament titles. And he graduated in Boise State back in 2018. And has done a lot of different things with the beach and indoor teams, practice player, volunteer assistant coach, kind of worked his way up and took over as the head coach going into this season. So congratulations to Alex Venardos. Appreciate him for jumping on. Thanks to Alex in the sports information department, different Alex, for helping out as well. And pretty cool deal on a Wednesday. As I said earlier in the show, go back and watch the Riley and Ridge show. Great stuff. Ty Benefield, Zion Washington. It was basically an open mic last night. We had 7 or 8 questions from the crowd. We had a great crowd on hand last night at the James. Fun time. If you haven't made it, I mean, come hang out at the James every Tuesday, 8:00. I buy you a beer if you're a paid subscriber. You get some of the trading cards. We pass those out to folks as well. And if you get one of the cards of one of the guests, you can go get it signed, or you can bring a previous card that you have for that player and get it signed. And we had Ty Benefield and Zion Washington last night, and it was a really cool show. So if you can't join us live, the shows are available on YouTube, so you can go to the BNN YouTube channel and check that out. Speaking of shows, tonight we got Sanford and Johnny Ball Talk. That'll be tonight at 8:00, and that is for paying subscribers at Bronco Nation News. So if you're able to help us out, $1, by the way, you can try us out for a month, see if you like it. $1 gets you your first month, and you can just pay the monthly fee after that, or you can get 30% off if you buy a annual subscription and get on the once-a-year payment plan, and then you can get access. We will post here shortly a private link. If you are a paid subscriber, check out the VIP message board there at bronconationnews.com. We will post your private link for Ball Talk, and that'll be in the VIP message boards at bronconationnews.com. You can go there before the show each week, get the private YouTube link, and have exclusive access. And when there's less folks watching, when it's subscriber only, you get more chance to get your questions answered. It's a little bit more intimate than having, the thousands of people on there for the regular shows. So, hey, if you're, thinking about jumping in, now's the perfect time. And if you are a paid subscriber, try to watch that thing live tonight at 8:00, because the viewership's a little lower, and that means you get more of your questions answered. And they're speaking kind of more directly to our paid subscribers here, and you get some really, really good stuff from Mike Sanford and Johnny Ball game. So that's tonight, 8:00. VIP message boards will be where you can go to get that link. And if you want to subscribe today, we'd love to have you. We got football stuff on the website. Jackson Taylor, the quarterback commit, is making his first visit to the Blue this weekend for the App State game. Chris Van Sickle talked to him about his trip to the Blue coming up and some records he's setting in high school, and subscribers can read that story right now. Nathan Carroll took a look at the basketball team. They started practice on Monday, and he's got some thoughts on the basketball team. That's a subscriber-only story as well. And then if you're still wondering kind of the snap counts and the PFF grades, that was an interesting story we post every week on a Monday or Tuesday as well. How many snaps every player played and what their kind of analytical grade was from Pro Football Focus. So that's a cool subscriber-only story as well. Those are just a handful of the many stories we have right now up on the site. I know this is a recent subscriber within the past couple of weeks, says Dig and Ball Talk, so appreciate that. Yeah, it's a great show. Sanford does a tremendous job. Him and Johnny work well together. That's 8:00 every Wednesday on Bronco Nation News. And again, you can go to the VIP message board, get that link for the show tonight, and it will be live at 8:00. And then I'll have Johnny joining me tomorrow, Prater on Friday, and we'll be live at 3:00. 5:30 kickoff. We'll be live at 3:00 for the Lithia Florida Boise pregame show from the James Kitchen and Bar on Saturday. Come hang out at the James Kitchen and Bar and hang out, have a couple drinks, get ready, tailgate, get ready for the game, and we'll have pregame, postgame coverage from the James. Again, pregame shows at 3:00 on Saturday for the Appalachian State game. So appreciate you guys for checking out the show today. Again, cool news on the beach volleyball team joining the Big 12. Thanks to Winston Venable. If you came on late, 45 minutes with Winston talking football, talking depth charts, talking defensive pass issues, running back room, all kinds of great stuff from Winston, and always appreciate him jumping on Wednesdays. So have a great rest of your day. Go subscribe. We'll see you at 8 o'clock for Ball Talk. Bronco Nation News Live, BroncoNationNews.com. Take care, everybody.
And final blade of grass. Done. And done. Who knew it'd take 2,007 man-hours to paint 47,962,053 blades of grass? Smells like game day. Whoa, it's not dry yet.